One of the most important things today for all of us across this planet is the situation with Corona. How do we handle Corona, and how we come to find another solution, another way for the menace of this virus to be eradicated from this planet, if can be done, or at least bringing a life normal as much as possible. As you know, Keshe Foundation has been involved in the development of the technologies that can be accepted and can be a solution for man in space. In the present world of medicine, we consider viruses as RNA connected. There are fields and we don't understand, and then they show themselves as protein and amino acid and the rest of it. In the real world of existence, viruses are in fact only bunch of magnetic fields as a plasma, very much the same as what we produce in CERN, very much as what we produce in many of our reactors, that they have no identity. And when these packages of plasma energies interact with the cell of the body of a man or animal or any entity which is live and it can regenerate itself, the interaction of their field and the cell of the body creates residual material that manifests itself as what they call the virus appearance or the shape of it. This is why we see Corona as the energy effect when it attaches itself to the cell body of the man. The interaction of between the two creates the shape of it. This is what the world of science has not understood, that viruses are nothing but energy packs. They are packages of magnetic fields of the given strength, and they can replicate themselves by absorbing energy from their environment to make the same packages. This is why, up to today, the world of science has had no cure for viruses, because viruses are not antibiotic based. Viruses are not anything else based, but energy based. And sometimes with hit and run, when we produce some chemicals which are energy packs, in affecting and being in touch with the cell, they deplete their energy. You go to a doctor, they tell you, you got a flu, you have a virus, you have to cope with it, we have no medicine. There's no antibiotic. Why? Because the doctors have not understood that the virus is energy. So when it's in your body, it replicates itself to a limit, it cannot expand, and then it gives its energy up and then disappears. That's why you suffer with flu or whatever viruses every winter, because these are the energy packs that in a given temperature environment, they manifest themselves and replicate, but they cannot expand anymore. So in the space technology of the Keshe Foundation, we realized this some 30, 40 years ago, that the best solution is to find out what the viruses are. What do these energy packs do with the body of the man, with the cell of the man? In the depth of the space, we do not have amino acids. Amino acid is a characteristic of the structure of a cell on this planet due to its gravitational magnetic field strength, due to its impact of the fields from the sun when they reach and they interact with the fields of the earth, that is both gravitational and magnetical field of the earth and the gravitational magnetic field of the sun. In rubbing against each other, they create packages of plasma in the upper atmosphere. And once the gravitational field of the earth interacts with these, pulling them to the surface of the Earth in interaction with the inertia of the gases and the inertia of the solid material of the Earth and gravitational magnetic field of the Earth, they find themselves in a matter state characteristics as we know as amino acid. We know this, that if you go on the Kеше Foundation website, learn how to make CO2 gas or any other, you see a layer of fat on the top, amino acid. This is how the Earth produces it. Now we know how to do it. So in that respect, the viruses do not have a matching inertia strength on their own, in the atmosphere they are, in the environment they are. But they find the matching inertia when they come in touch with the cell of the body of the man or animal or any living thing. So in the interaction of their fields with the cell of the body of the man, in finding a common denominator, could be a carbon, could be the hydrogen of the amino acid, could be the nitrogen of the amino acid, or a combination of the other materials which are connected to this amino acid, like calcium or whatever, they reach to that point of inertia, manifest themselves as what we see, physical shape of the crown, of the corona, or any other diseases. So, in fact, the cell on its own has its own structure. The plasma of the body of the virus has its own field structure, but no matter structure, nowhere we can confirm of its existence in a matter state. And when they come together, the amalgamation of the two creates a shell over the cell. At the same time, the interaction of the fields of the virus in interaction with the inertial field strength of the cell creates a new features on the top. And this leads where the cell is in the center. You have some shape of state as we see like a crown, and then we have an atmosphere energy pack around this totality. The reason that the antibiotics of today do not work is because this atmosphere, this shell around the cell of the body of the man does not allow them to enter, to reach the cell, to become effective, to do something with it. So this, as long as this atmosphere around the cell, we call it a corona, we call it anything else, exists, the cell of the body of the man cannot be protected. And in that process, as the energy of the cell is transferring to become the body of the physical manifestation, inertia of the energy of the plasma of the virus depletes energy of the cell. So the cell gets injured. And this injury, if it's extensive and goes to too many cells, destroys the cell structure. And in corona, we have seen, we know that in the lung of the man, this corona amino acid is connected to the calcium link of the protein or amino acid of the what we call the lung of the man. In this process, now we understand if we can penetrate and deplete the energy around the cell and what is manifests itself as a crown of the virus, we can deplete this to zero, where the magnetic field effect of the virus loosens or depletes in a way that it cannot affect the cell. We see the virus disappearing.